We're good to go.
Good morning and welcome to Clarity TV. My name's Barbara Gray and this is my dear friend Paul Church, and today is a very special occasion. We're launching Stamptagious.
We are indeed.
So Nicola Stitch's own brand has come to Clarity. I mean, we've always made for Nicola, and but it's called white labelling.
Yes.
So she sent us her designs. We did it for years for her.
Yeah, so similar to what we're doing for Janice.
Exactly the same as for Janice, right?
Yeah.
So we kind of help and support
small businesses,
artists.
Yeah.
And we've always made for Nicola. And we have a really good friendship, a good relationship. But then, of course, when Create and Craft folded,
yeah,
she also got caught in the crossfire.
Yes.
And so she and I had long talks, and we decided to circle the wagons and not only make for her, but market for her, sell for her, and be her platform. And that's what we're doing today.
We are indeed.
So there's a brand shop on our website.
Yeah. So if you go to the claritycrafts.com website, across the top, the first banner you'll see will be Welcome to Stamptagious. You click there.
Yeah.
All of Nicola's products are in there. Also, if you're familiar with our website, you've got the Clarity TV button. So everything that Barb's going to be putting through their paces over the 2 hours, then all the upsells in there, all the different configurations, everything. It's like a one-stop shop, isn't it?
It's like a one-stop shop.
It is.
And also the recorded TV shows.
Yep.
Everything's in there.
You go into the
downloads. I'll show you the downloads in a minute.
Craft. Yep, they're all in there as well.
While we're waiting for our friends to find us, because Wednesday's an unusual day for us. It's usually Monday, Tuesday and Friday.
Friday, yes.
But we decided that on this auspicious occasion, I'd put some lippy on and come out on a Wednesday too. What we thought with Nicola was that we would, because we're small companies, you know, we all got burned. And so what we're doing now is, same with Janice, it's like little and often. So we're just launching 2 brand new A6 stamp sets.
Yeah.
And it's very achievable for you if you want to explore the art of mixed media, which is where this journey is taking us.
I think so, yeah. When you look at the pieces that you've done and the artwork from Nicola's design team.
That's it. And I also called on a good friend of mine, Sam Crow, to kind of support me a bit with the mixed media, because everybody loves Sam's work. We all look at it, and I thought it was a time to kind of study it a bit better and kind of glean some tricks that Sam uses. I know I spoke to her yesterday, she's cool with that. And we're not demystifying her work, but we're definitely deconstructing it, Sam.
Exactly. And it was sort of having the bow wob inspiration from Sam as well. And Sam is one of these people that shares. She loves to share.
She does.
At the open days, I mean, the amount of people that are around her, and she's just, here you go, you can have this, you can have that.
Yeah. She's a great,
she's
a great lass.
Woman.
Yeah, so it'd be nice to look at her artwork.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that she will support Nicola in any way that she can as well, because that's who she is.
Yeah.
And of course, Nick's got her own really excellent design team. So we've got some lovely samples have come through there.
Yeah.
And then the other thing in the brand shop, I had to look because we've got some favourites.
Yes.
Some of Nicola's favourites in the brand shop.
From the previous collection.
That's right. And I decided that it would be nice. My absolute favourite was Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
I really liked her Alice, the chess sets and the little people and the Queen. And so we put all the Alice in the boxes here.
It looks lovely.
Sounds
doesn't
like
it?
Australia going to the Alice. So we're going to the Alice here. It looks really nice. And there are how many sets?
7 different A6 stamp sets in the Alice range.
7 different.
Yeah.
So I kind of lent into one of those yesterday. I was getting carried away. I spent the whole day, and I'm not lamenting the fact that I spent the whole day prepping. I got right into it, and I really enjoyed it, because these stamps are different to ours. That's the whole point here.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and so the artwork changed direction too. And it's the stamps that took me down the funky artwork.
Down the Alice in Wonderland road.
It did. It really did. It took me down the yellow brick road, and it was...
No, that's Wiz the Boz.
Oh, was it? Whatever. Red shoes. There's no place like home. The thing is, though, it is the stamps that make you think fun, that make you think funky, make you, you know, yeah.
It sends you off on a different, as you
Because
say,
they're so
it is a
sketchy
different.
and so arty, and they're hand drawn, and you can see that they're hand drawn by Nicola herself.
Yeah.
They're just a delight to use. They really are. You know, it takes some getting used to if you're used to very clean and tidy stuff.
Yeah.
But I really liked it, and I knew Sam would as well. So
absolutely. So should we give some details on what we've got available from the thing? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring up the details on the screen. So I'm just going to swap out over there. So we have 2 brand new A6 stamp sets. Gorgeous. Available individually. So the first one, which is the one closest to the details on your screen, item number 12131. This is Butterflies Fairies A6 Stamptagious stamp set. Ooh, a lot of S's there.
Fairies and butterfly fairies.
Yes, on
both
that first one. The first one nearest to the L is Butterfly Fairies.
These are so cool.
I know. But I can't start playing with these. So it's £10.99. Now, if you're in the Clarity Club, you'll also get your discount. And don't forget, through the whole of March, we're running an additional promotion called Japan 10.
Yes.
So if you pop that in checkout as well, you'll get a 10% discount.
So this also falls in that banner.
It does
That's
indeed.
great.
Yeah.
That's great.
So that's your first brand new set then. We'll look at them in a little bit more detail in a moment. And then the second one is Spring is in the Hair. Item number
spelled correctly.
Yes. Item number 12132. And you can see all of Nicola's A6 stamp sets, if you go to either the brand shop or the show page, they're all £10.99. Okay.
Very lovely. So the thing about these is, and when we start using them, you'll see it's the personalities. You can't believe how much personality you can pack into a little image like this.
And you were saying about the storytelling, about how they can tell a story and stuff like that.
Yes, yeah, they really do tell a story. They take you down the road when you know, they're very whimsical, very nice. So we've got they're available individually.
All individually. It's easier that way. It's a lovely introduction for everybody at home to buy them. So there's loads in there. If you go to I think there was 21 or more different stamp sets in there for you to choose from. You've got Alice. You've got Pixie Meadow, you've got some Christmas ones in there, you've got some A5 stamp sets, and you've also got some stencils as well.
I'm gonna use this one later.
Yeah, so just like a heads up on that. So if you want to check out that page, then they're all in there for you to have a look at.
Lovely. One of the things that I wanted to mention as well with the stencils is that somebody said on Facebook earlier in the week that sometimes our stencils are very thin material.
Yeah. And
what you'll find is with these, if I may just borrow these.
Absolutely.
Just to flag up the material that we use. So ours are very thick, really robust stencils.
Yes.
When the images are like this, then they are a different micron. They're thicker.
Yeah.
Right. So. But when they get tiny like this and really fine, in order to be able to even see that, if this was the thick mylar,
yes,
but you wouldn't get the crisp image. It's almost like you need a mask, like something really thin.
Yeah.
So what you'll find is that this particular stencil is a different material to these stencils, only because you want to get, and I'm going to show that off. You know, I think it's worth mentioning that because there was a bit of confusion around that. When we make stencils, 99 times out of 100, they're the thick, robust material. Yes. When the design is so fine that I make the call, or Lisa makes the call, that in order to get that beautiful reproduction, the mylar needs to be thinner, then we go to the thinner material.
So it's sort of like that thinner material is in between our mask material, our normal stencil.
Precisely that.
And as you say, I'm guessing because it's so detailed on there, if it was the thicker material, when the machines are cutting them out, it would probably melt it.
It does.
You wouldn't get it. So that's probably why it needs to be thinner as well.
It does. And also, when you're using the thinner material, you just get a better image. You
Crispness.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And don't use brushes. You don't use brushes with those ones.
Yeah.
You use sponges. There you go. But more will be revealed later. Okay, so back to Stamptagious.
Yes. So did you want to have a look at the first set?
Did you want to tell us about how we shop?
Of course. Yes. So you've got the details on the side of your screen. You've got that item number at the top, which is 12132. You can either put that item number straight into the search bar, or if you go to the show page, you can put it in there and you'll be able to find it. Alternatively, you can call our UK call centre, aka Sue downstairs, on 01732 868 215. So if you've got any questions, Sue, Jazz and Pete are there to help.
And is anyone in the room today?
The lovely Jane is in the room with us this morning.
Jane
and she'll be with us this
Good morning,
afternoon.
Jane. Thank you so much for your support as always.
Yeah, so if there's any questions, then Jane can filter those through to me as well.
Excellent, excellent.
So, yeah.
Okay, so we've done the shopping.
Yeah.
We've welcomed Jane.
We've welcomed Nicola.
Welcome Nicola to the family.
Yeah.
Although she's actually been part of the Clarity family for a while now.
She has
now
indeed.
It's just official.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now let's have a look at these really cool. And a shout out to Jim on these as well, because Jim is the guy that takes Nicola's drawings and turns them into really beautiful stamps.
Yeah.
There is a process here.
Yes. Yeah, it's not a straightforward process,
no,
is it?
No. It's the same with Janice Phillips timestamps, the photographs. That goes down Jazz's, that lands on Jazz's table. A lot of work has to be done. You can't just
get them into stamp quality.
Yeah. And so it's the same here. Big shout out to Jim. Okay, so should we have a look?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's coming a little bit closer on here.
So they're a small set of stamps, but they've got loads of images, and they really, really, is that as close as we can go? Yeah.
We can go close if you wish.
I'd really like to show these little characters if I can. Look at the printed characters. They are so sassy. They're just gorgeous, so beautiful to use. Yeah. Crazy good. Crazy good.
And look at the milk bottle.
Yeah.
I just
There's a little door in the milk bottle. Look, curtains. It's really extreme. And these butterflies, right, they work beautifully with the stamp pens. They sit exactly perfectly, look, on the stamp pens.
Look
so
at that.
It's just, they're made to fit.
Super.
Nice. So that's the first one, Butterfly Fairies.
Yeah.
If we pan out a little bit, let's have a look at some of
the
design teams. Now, this is not our design team, in deference to
Yep, this is Nicola's design team.
This is Nicola's design team, because ultimately these are her stamps. So I did offer our design team, but she has our own, of course.
Well, yeah, because obviously on Create and Craft previously. So
let's have a look. We've got, these are lovely for new baby. This is Roxy, very nice indeed. Angie. And you can see, look, the little milk bottle used as and then the bluebells or the little snow, they're used as little trees.
Yeah.
Look, this is lovely.
And that one's from the second set, isn't it? We've got the springers in the hair.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the little lambs.
Yeah.
Little lambs eat ivy. And there's that little girl that I really love her. She's got so much. So this is interesting. This is done by Maria Grimshaw. And we can see here she's used one of our funky...
Oh, yes, our montage stamps.
Montage stamps. So that's quite cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
A little bit of glitter. And she's used those openings. I rather like that. This is one by Roxy, Live Life in Full Colour. And she's taken the little girls and cut them out, which is something that Sam does that we're going to investigate.
That fussy cutting.
Yeah. And then this is one by Roxy again, shaker card.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the little characters.
Oh, the little hairs from
so
the
we're mixing the hairs here. And then we've got some jewellery as well. And this is done by Angie. I like. So we've got some jewellery here as well, which is rather lovely.
That's nice, isn't it? So, yeah, not just for your paper crafting, but for your gift making as well.
And I noticed when I was looking at the stamps yesterday, I noticed some of the larger characters. If you go into the shop, right, into the brand shop, you'll see that some of the sets have got quite big characters.
Yeah.
Okay. They're almost the size of the A6, like quite substantial. But some of the design team used them with shrink plastic.
Oh,
fantastic. Shrink plastic, fantastic. The first thing I did when I saw the shrink plastic, I thought, have we got any in stock?
No.
I've got some in my stash. But of course, the company that we bought from, so I've got Paul on the
Yeah,
trail.
I'm looking for it.
For shrink plastic, because they really they do look so beautiful in shrink.
And it is because it's that sort of, as you say, that they are virtually an A6 size, and that's from the Pixie Meadow collection. So if you have a look at the Pixie Meadow collection on the website, then that's where you'll find the characters Barb's talking about.
They really, when they're shrunk, they just look amazing. Right, so now let's have a look here. Everything good? Yeah, everything good. All right, these hairs, weddings, birthdays, love, friendship, just beautiful.
And I love the attention to detail on the design of them.
That's right. When you look up close and you see, look, the little heart in the pot, and the little heart in the leg. See the hearts everywhere, and look at the little chick in the egg.
Oh,
I know. Spring is in the hair. This is the way that Nicola always writes. It works so well, you know. These little look, the little lambs and sheep. Look, so cute. You know. And this one here is just delightful to use.
That's really nice, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep. So again, you've got loads of stamps there. Let's take a look here.
There we go.
Baby boy, nice background with the two hairs. Angie, this is one by Angie using the daffodilly. Look,
nice.
It's really nice.
Little accents as well.
Yeah, really nice. This is April. I like the way that it just sits so nicely, you know. And one little rabbit on its own. There's Angie again. In the circle.
Those lovely bluebells.
So this is a nice one too. Oh, April, I love this. Look, so she's made a tag. Look,
ah, bless him.
Bless his little cotton socks. And now this one is Maria Grimshaw again. So she's used the aperture from one of ours
the montage stamp sets.
April, she's done a circle. And then this one is, again, earrings. This is Angie, which is really cool. A necklace and earrings as well.
Lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, they're glazed, aren't they?
Yeah.
Really cool, actually, with beads. It's a combination, isn't it? This is an Angie job again. Yeah, very nice. I wonder if Angie sells them. I mean, seriously, because that's one of the things about Clarity. We are an angel company.
Yeah.
And so Nicola, by default, by going into partnership with us, there you go. So if you want to make things to sell using our stamps or Nicola's stamps, Stamptagious, then there we are.
And when you look at those little jewelry pieces, and it is that sort of triple glazing effect on it, isn't it? Yeah, and a few beads.
And like I say, if you've got those large ones and you get into the shrink plastic, I'm telling you now,
should I just grab one of them?
Crazy.
Let me just find one.
Well, you could take any one of these here. Let me take this one. Like, so this is the queen from the. This is the queen from the Alice.
Of course, Alice.
You know, and now when you shrink her, she is just fantastic.
Yeah.
You see, and there are loads of these larger characters that when reduced in size,
I
might have to talk to I might have to talk to Nicola about making a set of bijoux.
Oh, that'd be lovely.
All the little
different
ones.
Characters.
Just rinky dink. Wouldn't that be lovely?
Yes.
There you go. Food for thought.
Definitely.
Okay, so those are the two sets, aren't they?
Yeah, they are indeed. So they're the brand new launches today. So we've had details on the screen. As I say, they're $10.99. Then if you belong to any of our clubs, you'll apply your additional discount there. But if you don't belong to any of the clubs, if you put Japan 10 at checkout, then you'll get 10% off.
There we are.
So $10.99, so it's £11. So you'll get £1 off.
And if you order from us after £35, it's postage paid.
Free shipping. Yeah, absolutely. So, and when you see Barb starting to put through the paces, and you go, oh, didn't know about bow wallpapers or gel press petites.
Yeah, it brings new life into all this, I'm telling you.
It does indeed.
So the other thing about Clarity TV is that, of course, not only do we store it and record it for you so that you can watch it again either on our website or on YouTube as well. Yep. So this is streaming not only on Facebook but also on YouTube. In fact, the vast majority of people watch on YouTube.
Yes, because they've got the smart TVs and they've worked out how to put it on there. Yeah. But
you can come back and watch on our website.
Yeah.
In the top right-hand corner, there's a little teal box that says Clarity TV. Click, 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 and you're in. Catch
up and craft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what we also do is we make downloads. These are pretty cool, right? Let me just come out a little bit and you can see here. So these are the downloads that that we've put together, and they will be attached to the show. So it's very easy to find.
It is.
What show was doing what. You can literally glance at the downloads, or you can print them off.
And they save them in a folder, save them on your computer.
But where it says, for example, here, 10 and 2, 26th of March, what was made? Right, these are the projects and what was used. So it tells you exactly the whole list with links. So it's all there. It's like for one-stop shopping.
It is. And so that if you have placed an order, you download these ahead of them, and then when they turn up, you can go, right, I've got this to hand now. Now I'm going to follow it through.
See, because for a lot of crafters, they look at that and they say, oh, I really like that colour. What colour did she use? There are so many different ones. So I'm actually quite specific about peacock feather. Look how peacock's been spelled. Peacock feathers, carved pumpkin, rusty hinge, and then you know which colours have been used. Right. I didn't see that before we went live. That's all right. We can
adjust
edit.
that. Of course we can.
Then we've got this one, which is using my favourite.
I love that one.
And I used a couple of grungy tricks that I used to apply back in the day, and I think they work really well here. So we're going to age the stickers, the pinky grey stickers, so make it look more like a box than a pristine sticker. I'm going to tatty up the edge, do a bit of speckling in the background, just grunge it up a bit.
Nice.
Right, so that's another one I'm going to do today. And then, of course, this is where I got carried away. Tea bags, they came out to play last night. The little book,
the journal,
so cool to do. I'm telling you, right, for me to say at stupid o'clock when it's already dark outside, I'm going to make a journal with these little fellas. And so I've dedicated a journal just to the Stamptagious characters.
Collections.
And there's a process then, and we'll get into it at the 2 o'clock show.
2 o'clock show,
But it's really, really nice to do. You just need the little baby journal.
So we've got a lovely collection we've put together, where you get your A4 watercolor book, you get your little journal, the 2 sets, different sizes of water brushes, and the mix mats. And there's a £10 saving on that, £33.97. But they are all available individually as well.
I really like that because I'm going to use the journal here. Okay. But then I'm also going to use the watercolor brushes with the pergoliners, with the watercolor pencil, with the mix mat. It's ideal for getting. That's what I did, you see, to get the watercolor background, to get the beachy wash.
Nice.
So again, that's a good thing to bear in mind. So it's a good set to buy.
It is.
And then the last one, this little girl. I just really love the. If I can show you, let me show you the actual card, because it's sharper than the printout. So you can see here, I've taken Sam's kind of style. You can see here, I'm going to show you. So I looked at Sam's work, and I really like the way she cut out a heart from a bow paper. And I thought, I could do that. So I cut out the heart, and then I got into it, you see, and then I picked, this isn't stuck on. That's done with, but that's done with grey pencils. But, and I noticed this with a lot of mixed media people, they cut out really roughly, and then they kind of use it as a sticker.
Make it stand out as well by putting that edge around it.
So I kind of took Sam's bow wob idea in the background, changed the background a bit like that, changed the word. So you've got the process, the technique looks completely different.
It does.
So I thought, we'll give that a go.
And that's at 2 o'clock this afternoon. So if you like those stamps, there's a collection where you get the stamps, which are £14.99. And you also get the postcards, and the postcards are free. Oh,
you mean in my world you are my? Let's just show this
collection here.
Right, so this is really nice. These are our block prints, aren't they?
So this is quote set 7.
This is one I did recently with the Latin.
Yes.
Love conquers all. Omnia vincit amor. Make cake, bake cake, eat cakes. More down to earth.
They look lovely balanced on there as well, wouldn't they?
So you could take any of these little characters, right? They would sit so beautifully on here. Look, put her on the top of that
She's
pile.
definitely making cake, isn't she?
Yeah, defo. Right. Look, or in my film, You Are the Star. Oh, look, little Marilyn
Nice.
Monroe pose. You see?
Yeah.
First fiddle in my orchestra is you. Oh, it's so cute. Yeah, really nice. Really nice indeed. So,
It is indeed.
and what's the...
So the item number is 21232. So you get the postcards as well. So the postcards are free. Yeah.
So this is again mixed media-y, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's great for if you wanted to pull like your gel prints with your bow wobs, and it's sort of that instant.
So they're much larger. They're the same, but then you could cut this out and use it in your journaling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Look, and we leave a lot of white space here so that you can work with
decorate around.
Yeah, that's great.
And as you say, Sam often does cut up the individual words,
she
or
does.
even the letters, and make her own words.
Just eat cake.
Yeah,
that'll do.
That's good for me.
Who wants to make it and bake it? Just eat it.
Just eat it. I'm hungry now.
Give over. I'm on a diet and it's not going very well.
No cake then.
No.
You can just make and bake it.
We had fish and chips yesterday. It was amazing.
Oh, that was a good diet.
Yeah. I had to go to Boots to get Dave's prescription, and the fish and chip shop was next door. I couldn't help myself.
Is it a new one? Yeah. They opened the new one now.
Good call. Right. Okay. So now we're down to we'll get a demo.
Yeah. If you're
Are we
good
ready
for that.
to demo?
Yeah.
Okay. One little bit of coffee, and then we'll get going. All right. Hang on.
Okay. Shall I bring up the pack shot?
I think it's a good idea.
We'll talk about the two brand new sets.
And we're going to go to Spring is in the Hair.
There we go. So the first brand new A6 stamp set from Stamptagious. The item number is 12131. Butterfly Fairies. £10.99 plus all your relevant discounts. But if you're new to the Clarity family, then just put Japan 10 in checkout and you'll get 10% off. The second brand new one in the range from Nicola is Spring is in the Hair. Item number 12132. Now, if you like that look of that watercolor collection book that we were talking about earlier, I'm going to bring those details in there, because as Barb said, the water brushes, these are top quality, and they come in two sizes. Well, each pack has 3 different size nibs, and the barrels are different sizes as well. So you get the large, longer barrel and the shorter barrel. Yeah,
they do. They're very different.
Yeah,
but they work really well. And you get watercolor. There's watercolor brushes, and then there's water brushes.
Yeah,
these ones don't dump water. No, flood. I was thinking another word. No, not on telly.
Yeah, because you've got that control. But and as you're rightly say, that often you would go to use one, and as soon as the brush touches the paper, it just splurts out.
Bizarre. Yeah. Right. So let's have a look. First of all, let's have a couple of. Let's look at some inspiration from Sam, if you don't mind. I'd like to go into the artwork that Sam sent in, because this is where we're kind of headed, this flavor.
Yes.
Okay. So you can see here, bow wallpapers, bow wallpaper transfer. Again, bow wallpaper transfer. Check out. This is just delightful.
Lovely.
So this is where we're going to go. This is the one that I want to kind of indulge. So you can see here, there's a print, but it's all on the same layer. Okay.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it looks like it's stuck, but it isn't.
Yeah.
Then we've got another little one here. This is so pretty. Butterfly Kisses and birthday wishes.
Nice.
Really nice, Sam. There you go, gel print. So this is taking 3.5 by 3.5 inch.
Yeah.
And look, stuck on top. We're going to play it safe. We can do that. Choices. So we can go on top, or I'll show you. This is great. So Sam's used her own designer papers. 3 pints today, please. I mean, you had to, didn't you?
That reminds sort of very 50s retro in that colouring, isn't it?
So cool.
Yeah.
With a little milk bottle with a door, you see, and you highlight it. When you start to play with them, that's when you start to see where you're going. Look, 10 green bottles.
Wow.
Wants to break into. We used to sing that when we were, Steve and me, in the back of the car when we were going on a long journey. And I know my dad would be like, his ears would be bleeding.
How many did you go up to?
We started at 100 green bottles.
Wow, okay.
This is where we were going to Germany, right?
Oh, right. Oh, that's fair enough. It's a long journey.
Yeah. And then I remember we got to like 44 green bottles. And I said, Dad, that windmill, because we were in Holland. I said, haven't we seen that before? He said, keep singing. Anywho, right. And then finally, last but not least, they're just really delightful little mixed media stamps. And the thing that Sam does, right, is there's a fine line between getting something really arty, right, and messy.
Yes.
And Sam she nails it.
She's got that control,
She's got
hasn't
that,
she?
which is so crazy because it looks as if, see, that's all on one layer, but she's cut out the little dress. The dress is on another layer, and she's stuck the little hot pants on. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I love it, Sam. Yeah, so that's the one we're going to go to anyway.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's where we're headed. It's beautiful.
It is so cool.
Really
right,
nice.
so I'm going to hand that artwork to you, and we're going to go to this one. So let's just deconstruct this. Let's look at where we are and what we need. Right. So if we take this, I kind of well, I went with this stamp set and I mounted all of them.
Yeah.
The central one is on a 4x4 mega mount. So I've got all that done. And I've already mounted all the little stamps on the clarity handles.
Yeah.
So they're good to go.
Super.
Right. I know what I'm going to need. Now, we got choices.
Okay.
First of all, we can take, if I go down the road that Sam took, I'm going to take a piece of stencil card. Let me show you.
Yeah.
I'll just take a piece of stencil card like that. Right. And then I'm going to cut it. You can see what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to cut it into 2 pieces like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I've got the bit that's the same size as Sam.
Yes.
And it just needs to be big enough to take this square. So what is that square, I hear you ask?
It? Could it be a gel press?
It could. And I'm going to show you. There's my jelly plates. I've got new ones.
Oh,
yeah, I know. I cracked out a new one. Can I show?
You can indeed.
So we've got the square, the round, and the triangle.
Yeah.
And they don't come with these automatically.
No, they don't.
But we sell them with them automatically.
That's what Clarity introduced to the various gel press plates, wasn't it?
That's right.
The mega mounts.
So, so what we need here is these mega mounts that sit in here,
because they go in the packaging.
4 mil thick.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're thicker and they sit absolutely beautifully on. You'll see here. They sit really beautifully inside the packaging.
So it's a good case for storing it.
Yeah. See, so that sits in there really beautifully. Okay. So, but it's important that the mega mount is thicker because you do apply quite a lot of pressure to it. So that's not the same, for example, as the mounts that we use for the stamps, because they need a little bit of flex.
Yeah.
So that needs to, just making a note of that.
Yeah. The difference in the thickness of them.
So that there sits on the mega mount, and you'll see that it's exactly the same size as that.
That's what Sam's used.
So that's what Sam's used, and that sits on there like so, and that's why it's all in one layer.
Yeah.
Now, whether you stamp first, I did both. I experimented.
Okay.
Whether you stamp first and then put the bow wob transfer, because I'm going to show you how to do this background. You stamp first and then do that, or do that and then stamp, because the pergoliners. Right, let me just bring this in, sorry. The pergoliners that we're going to use to colour in, the B pencils, they are oil-based.
Right, okay.
And so they're very opaque and they will override the ink. I mean, if it's too dark, they won't, but this is quite light, isn't it? Pastel-y.
Yes.
So we can do that and then stamp over the top, which I'm tempted to do.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to stamp, colouring, do all that, and then the background doesn't work.
Yeah.
Frustrating, right? How does she know
from
this?
Experience.
Yeah. How does she know this? Now, the other thing to bear in mind, right? Yeah, so if we're going to use the pergoliners, let's just bring these in so you know what I'm talking about. these are these boxes of pencils, 70063.
£29.99.
And what you've got in here is you've got oil-based,
Yeah.
16 of, and 20 water-based, which is why those water pens are good.
Absolutely.
Okay, look, right. Good price.
They are really good because they're for all your types of crafting, not just your parchment craft, but your stamping, your general colouring in.
But what I was thinking, because I'm thinking about our friends at home that are doing the job at the same time.
Yeah.
Right. So when you get to, and I'll show you, there's a method in my madness here. What I did was, and you'll see it on the download, I also did 2 separate ones.
Right. Okay.
Just to show you different applications of the same. Once you learn the process, it's a piece of cake.
Yeah. And
so
it's addictive, isn't it?
It is. It is. So this one, for example, if we come in here, you'll see that what I've done is, instead of stamping onto the larger piece, right, I've stamped onto, you know, when you're practicing.
Oh, yes.
It's the 3.5 by 3.5 inch. And you'll see that the jelly plate or the gel press, it sits exactly like a charm right on there, right? So it's perfect for making these backgrounds.
It gives you your instant layer then, doesn't it? Like your frame around it.
It does.
Yeah.
Once you get into it and you get confident, see, we've also got these little 4 by 4. I'll show you. These are so cute, right? So we've got these little 4 by 4 inch cards that are all ready to go.
Yeah.
Right. So, and they're double sided. So, you know,
make a mistake.
Make a mistake, flip it over and call it the back. Right. But they come with little envelopes as well. So that's all on one layer.
Right.
With a little tablecloth. I put a little tablecloth with the bow wob. See, I'm taking these ideas from Sam.
Yeah.
So that works really well. So we've got choices. If we look at the different card packs, this is worth knowing. Sam's gone with a 7 by 7, cut it up. She's a master at this stuff. So she, and the other thing about Sam is, I won't say she doesn't care. She cares a lot. But there comes a point with gel press art, it's very freeing, and you just go with what you get. Yes. You work with what you've got. You don't have a preconception of what it's going to look like.
No.
But the more you do, the better you get. And the better you get, the more control you have, and you actually can steer it.
Yeah, I remember when you first started with the gel press, you had a stash of paper.
I still do.
No good. Yeah. You had to readdress the brain, didn't you? Because, and then once you did that, then that's like when
I started getting good at it.
Yeah.
But all the time I kept thinking I need it to look like this, and I was trying to control it and bend it to my will. Art doesn't do that. and the gel press, I'm telling you, if you haven't got these little baby ones, these will set you free because they give you, it's so comfortable because you're just using little tiny pieces of card.
Yeah.
You know, even the 7 by 7, what's the worst that can happen?
Well, exactly.
You know, but you get a pack like that of the 3.5.
And
okay.
You'll fly through it.
And then you just go one after another after. And if it doesn't work, who cares?
Turn it over.
Flip it over, start again.
Yeah.
Just the one thing I would say is when you do this, think about what you're doing, because if you keep doing the same thing, if you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got.
Yeah.
Right? So it really does help to kind of say, well, how long did I wait for the ink? How much ink did I use? How did I, you know, look at it and then improve the next one and then change it and tweak it and change it and tweak it and change it. That's how it works.
And maybe just write notes on the back of the pieces that you're doing.
Definitely.
Because you always do that, don't you? Yeah.
Colours. There's nothing worse. I've got a stack like that and I've got no idea. And I love that one and I just have no idea what colours I use.
No.
C'est la vie. Right. So we've got these two. We've got these two here.
Yeah.
I just wanted to explain. Paul, talk about that.
So we've got 100 sheets of 3.5 by 3.5. The item number for that is 31131. However, if you want 200, which I know most of our friends at home go for, item number 31402.
Yeah.
Then we have our lovely card blanks. These are top quality, 300 GSM, 10 of them, card blanks and envelopes. The item number for that is 31685. There we go.
So we'll try 2 different things here. Right, let's have an experiment because we're going back to Nicola's Stamptagious, to the stamps. So we'll try a couple of different tricks. First of all, we're going to do the gel press. Secondly, I'm going to stamp let's go for it. I'll stamp the images first,
Okay.
and then we can decide. I
Yeah.
will do the experiment for you. Am I gonna stamp first and colour it? What am I going to do first?
Yeah.
Okay. So to play it safe, I'm going to use the stamped image on this one.
Okay, on the
Yeah?
larger piece
Why
of the
not?
7x7.
Yeah, we'll do that on. Oh no, that's a bit silly, really, isn't it? Let's ding dong, ding dong. Let's do it on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 3.5 by 3.5.
Yeah, yeah. So it's mounted on a 4x4, thin.
Yeah.
Mega mount.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to stamp this because I know it needs to be in the middle. So the stamps are in the middle of the mount, and then the mega mount has got little lines, so it shows you exactly where the middle is.
Yeah.
But the thing about this is it doesn't have to be in the middle. It just depends. You might want to take it up a little bit. You know, it depends. Just put it where you think you want it to sit, and then play. Right, so we've got a lovely image. Yeah.
Top quality clarity stamps there.
Now I'm going to do something. This is my suggestion.
Okay.
When you're working on mixed media, always have a couple on the go.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4. Any mixed media artist worth their mettle will say to you, have a couple on the go.
Right. Okay.
Right. Don't just lean into only one piece of artwork, because if you do that, then if it doesn't work, then you've got to go right to the beginning again.
Yes.
Okay. So I know that you're thinking, why she keeps stamping the same thing over and over again? Okay, well, let's do something different. Let's go to this one. And I can show you some of the lovely stamps. So there's the little hair, right? I love this one. That's the one with the long, right? So I've got all my stamps ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Plant pot in the middle. Let's just do it. And as soon as you start having several on the go, you can see it's getting, I'm deliberately panning out so you can see, not that it's messy, but what it does is it diffuses the pressure on your head.
They're trying to get the first one right every time.
Exactly. Because now you can say, right, I'm going to pop that one there. And then you're making a few, see? And you can start to experiment. And then you can decide, do I need to put it down? Do I need to put it up? Put the stamp. Do I want to change put a different stamp on it? Bring this one down a little bit. See, I'm not looking at what I did before. I'm going to work with what I've got.
Yes.
I think that is the key here, is to just play and work with what you've got. And the more you do this, just believe you me, I've prepared. I know what I'm doing, but it's about, I think the key is to just relax into it and just say, right, I know what I'm going to do. I want a little bit of a tablecloth or a picnic vibe. Right, so I've got all these now all stamped up.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of doing several, having
Yes.
several on the go. Right, so we've done that. Okay. I've got a double bubble, one for test and one for best. Right, now let's have a look. So we'll put them to one side. Now let's have a look at the gel press. We've got the little one, and we're going to start thinking about patterns. So if you look at the jelly plate pattern that I've done here, let's take a look. We're looking at a couple of different patterns. So we've got bow wad papers. These are the bow wad papers, the original ones.
Yeah.
The original ones Sam used here. So she's got the dots, right, and the stripes. I've got them here as well. And so there's the stripes, for example, that Sam's used here. Let me show you a little piece of there.
In the back, yes.
Right, so it's just a little tiny bit like that, bit of black around the outside,
cut.
bit of ink, little offcut,
Yeah.
stamped, you know. Any one of these would do. Then you've got the dots, that'll give you that.
Yeah.
Right, and then the butterfly, not the butterfly, what's that called?
Flower?
Daffodil is that one.
Oh,
do you see? I don't know if you can see that. The daffodil, is it that light or is it me?
Well, camera.
Seems to be a bit of a glare on it. Is it a glare?
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. There, it's a bit better on that one. You can see it better there. Here's one I did earlier. Yeah, there you are.
It was focusing on the black.
Yeah, there you are.
That's what it was.
So you can see it much better now.
Yes.
So the trick that Sam introduced us all to is how to get that background into colour.
Yeah.
So that gives us that.
Okay.
And I'm going to show you how. It's very easy. Okay. So what we'll do is, and it's easy, really easy with these little.
The little petites, because you've got the 3 different shapes, so it's giving you an instant area as well, isn't it?
So, for example, if I want to go with the dots, let's try the dots first. Let's do this one. We've let it dry.
Yes.
Right, because when I go like that now, right, with my jelly plate,
I suppose it could pick up any transfer in reverse.
So now we're going to decide what colour we want to use. I'm going with what Sam recommends, which is Distress Oxides. We're going with Distress Oxides. And then we need sponges. Just bear with me a second. I know I had them here because we got them out earlier, Paul, didn't we?
We put them over here. Here we go.
Yeah, they're with the stencils. Okay, let's have a look. So, for example, I could take, I'm just going to go with, you don't want too much. This is what the mistake that we make, right? Just a tiny little amount like that. Okay, so I'm going to go with a little bit like that. Now, I could use the sponge, or I could use a brayer just to roll it out. Let's have a look. This is the, so we've got a speedball brayer. We got these back in stock.
We have indeed, item number 30096.
So what you can see I'm doing, I'm just spreading it out. So you can see that there's, you don't want a lot. That's the key to this trick.
Yes.
Right. So now I've got that, and I can take this, I can literally take that and stick it on here like that.
Right.
Okay. We can see it happen.
Yeah.
So let's just see. And I'll just push that on there. If I had a couple on the go, then I could do several at the same time. But I don't want to get, it's not a competition or a race. It's just
doing one at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to do now, I can talk about the theory of it. Where the ink was on the gel press, I've landed it down here. Where the black is, it acts as a resist.
Right.
Because it's like digital print, let's say, or a laser print. It's digital actually. What happens is that it doesn't, where the white is, it soaks it away.
Yes.
And where the black is, it doesn't. So when I lift that off, if this worked, right, then I'm going to turn this over like so, and then that will sit on there like that, and you'll see the little dots. And now I'll decide, when I do this, I'll know. I'm coming in closer now so you can see it better.
I'm just going to move that because it's just trying to contrast on that.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
So I want to show you how you can, and you can see the colours that I used.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just going to rub the back like so. Right. Lift that off, and there's your. So when you, can you see that, or is that? You see, yeah. If I put, there's a little bit of glaze on, a little bit of glare on there. But if I do that, you can see it, can't you?
Yes.
Right. So you can see exactly how we've taken that colour, and it's easy, you know, to colour that in.
Yes.
Okay. You definitely agree with me on that.
Yeah.
So let's take our, let's do another one.
Okay.
Just because we can. Right. We've mixed the colour up there. Let's do another one just to show how this time we'll use this one, and we'll use this one. So we'll mix it up a bit.
And that's from the new Japanese collection, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
So for the sake of, I'm just going to get rid of a little bit of ink on that's on the brayer.
Yeah.
Just because I don't want too much. Remember, the rule is get rid.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to do it like that. Now, let's see. I've got this one again. And I'm going to take my, you have to kind of clean it off a little bit, because I feel when you clean it off, you get a clean run at it. Otherwise, you're loading up more and more ink.
I remember you saying this before with the gel press, that you think it's clean, but it's holding some residue.
Yeah.
Yeah. And although you don't think you can see it, it is on there.
Well, it changes the colours.
Yeah.
Now, when you're working with Sam, you watch
Mm.
Sam, she never cleans it, right? She takes that colour and she adds it. So now her daffodils, whereas my daffodils are going to be white,
Yeah.
Sam's would be the colour that was on the brayer before.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? So all the time, or the colour that was on the... So Sam is always working with the colour
So
from
she
previous.
can never write down what colour she's used.
She never has a clue.
It's a real mix.
It is.
Yeah.
But let's do this now, a bit darker. Let's see if we go a bit darker on this one. Now, this time I'm being a bit more specific. So I'm going to put the peacock there. And then let me just try a bit of rusty hinge there. So now we've got a top and a bottom,
yes.
if you like.
Yeah.
Right. So this time I'll do that, but I'm just going to see how I'm doing a little bit of a dance.
Yeah, you're not sort of going all over it to sort of blend it all into a mush.
No. So now I'm not moshing it up. That's it. So if I take this, I know now I've got choices. How do I want my daffodils to sit? You see, or where do you want your stripes? Because you're looking at it like this. Look, I could put stripes on it. You see what I mean? It depends what you want to. You've got a lot of control because you've got the mega mount, so you can see
through it.
That's it.
Yeah.
So now I'm being very specific about where I'm planting it. And the thing about this is, of course, while I'm doing this, I'm also, so there's a little tablecloth here. So I might just use this underneath. And that's when you get into the realm of different colours in different places.
And the different layers.
Yeah. But all the time I want an actual finished frame like that one.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a little bit, I wonder if that would be better. Yeah. So you can see it much better on there, can't you?
Mm.
But this is a really great
It's
technique.
lovely. I mean, especially with the little petites as well, because you've got the 3 different shapes in there. Excuse me. So all of a sudden it can also change the look.
So I'm going to put the greener area to the bottom.
Yeah.
See? So I know it's there, and I'm just going to hover with the handle, and then I'll plant that, and then in goes my daffodils in the background. So it's a really nice background print.
Yeah.
It's really good to do.
It's lovely and soft and subtle, isn't it?
It is. And if you want it to be brighter, then go brighter, right? So you can see now, look, it's really cool. Let's go to this camera so you can see it better. Yeah?
Yeah.
So we're getting there now. And you can see it depends entirely how bright you want to go.
How much colour's been on there, how long it's been sitting on the paper, I'm guessing, as well.
And when you look at this one, let's take a look at this one. See how the background's darker?
Yes.
That's what I want to show you now. Let's go. See, it was light there, but look, it's all grungy here.
Yeah.
Right, so let's go to the next trick. Right, I just want to stick with these for now.
Okay.
And I'm going to kind of pursue this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just move this. Do you mind if I give you this and you just clean that for me?
Yeah, I can clean that for you.
If you do that for me while I just want to wipe the ink off there, Paul.
Yeah.
That would be brilliant. And then we'll just go for this little fella here, because I think we could use, it's the same idea, same principle. Let's use this one. Right, now colouring in. This was something that I watched, I looked at Sam's and I thought, okay. So, you know, we use grey, like to put a drop shadow around the outside. Yeah. So I looked at Sam's, and what she did was, where it was dark in the background, she's gone round the outside with a white Posca pen.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, and look how nice that looks. So it makes them pop.
It does. See, I really weirdly, I thought that I thought the stamps were cut out on top.
Yeah.
So it was like the relief where you hadn't squidged enough with the gel press.
You would think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So let me get some. Now what I'm using here is the B pencils. The other thing about this is, like, I've got the 9, the 8, the 4. I've got them loose here, like so. So, you know, I can go with a little bit of red, a little bit of blue, a little bit of green. Let's have a look. A bit of white. I've got a white one. As long as they're the B pencils. See, if that's an A pencil, aqua, it won't work. It's a water soluble. So I'm going to go to the red one that's B pencil and put the aqua one away, just to check before I start. And then I've got a light blue here as well, which is a B pencil. Okay. So let's just do this so you see how this works. I'm going to take my yellow now, and you think, well, you can't see much. Yeah, well, we're not done yet. And I'm just putting like a really light cover of yellow over the top. The object of this exercise is to make these hairs pop, if you like.
Yeah.
Right. So we can take a bit of yellow, because yellow, when you mix it with blue, you get a great, lovely greens as well. So I'm going to put the blue on here, light blue. Right. And this is where you take your time. I mean, I know I'm skidding through this because I've got so much else I want to show you, but you can see how you can get some really good colours going, yellow and orange overlaying them. Now they'll start to come out a bit more. Right, let's get a bit more going here. Right, we've got a bit of blue in the, see the way that Nicola's drawn these, it makes it really easy to colour in because they're so sketchy.
Yes.
And we've got stamps as well that are quite sketchy in our arsenal, haven't we?
Yeah, I remember the old sketch shoes, sketch lady.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if we go over with a bit of yellow and then back in with the blue, you get a really nice, you can go as dark as you like. Look, here we go. So we're going to start bringing these out now. Let's go with a bit of yellow. So you just go back and forth. Here we are. You see this okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. Right, so we've got yellow on her dress. Now let's add a bit of orange. Let's go with a bit of orange here, just to add a bit of depth. So you don't need lots, but it's enough. It's lovely when it works. Just start to, and then the red, just a flash of red. So you've got a bit of blue, bit of red in her head dress. She's funky, isn't she?
It doesn't take long for them to become illuminated, do they?
No. And the pergoliners work really well like this. You know, now I'm using the oil ones. Yeah. So I'm wondering, I'm hoping that we're not looking at the chat, but I would hope that Nicola is watching. I hope that Nicola's in the room and enjoying the demo. I don't know if we can see that, Paul.
I can have a look. It depends how far the chat has gone. Maybe Jane could let us know whether Nicola's in the room, whether she's chatting away to all of our friends.
That'd be good. Right, let's have a look. So the thing about the oil pencils, this is where it starts to get interesting. The oil pencils are exactly that. They create like a shield or
Yes.
a wall, don't they, when you press hard. So let's say, for example, I'm adding a little flash of red in here, a little brown. If I were to go back over the top of this one, see, I could add a bit of, if I think I want to add a bit of white, I could, what I'm saying is I'm burnishing. If I do this, even though it doesn't change the colour much, it does, it puts a seal over the...
Oh, I see.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
So let's do this. I want to show you. So now I've done that, and let's see here. So I want to show you this, because you look at that and you think, where did you put my
gel
press?
press is just over there, nice and clean.
Thank you. So let's say I've got my gel press now. I just want to show you something that's worth noting.
Yeah.
Now this could go wrong, but I'm going to show you anyway. Now I want to go again.
Yeah,
right?
so put another layer on.
Put another layer on, and again and again.
Yeah.
So if let's say I just go like that, just a little sweep like that.
Okay.
Right, so I've got ink on there now.
Yeah, you can
and
see
I can
that.
see exactly where it is.
Yeah.
Now, if I don't want it to go straight through their face, I would just take it off there. Just use your finger if you need to, right? Like that.
Yeah.
So I can overlay over the top, and I can change the way that looks. I can go in a bit more. I can add a bit of the side. I could go in again and again. Let's not overcook it. Let's do this one first and then decide whether I want to add another colour.
Yeah.
Right, so now I'm adding a backdrop. I'm going back in over the top, printing at its best. See how dark it is when you take it away? Look at that. See how dark that is? Really dark. Look.
Yes, it's surprising how much is on there, isn't it? Yeah.
It really is. So if I turn that around, I bet I've got some in the top as well. Let's see if I go like that, just tie it back a bit. There you go. But it goes to show you how much was on there.
Yeah.
So what I should have done, right, Aren't I glad I did 2 of them? But you see what I'm getting at? Actually,
Yes.
it's a good thing that I've shown you that. So when you go like that now, when you do this, the next one,
Yeah.
you go like that. Let's take this one because we got a second one on the go as well, haven't we? So instead of doing, see, I can mosh it up a little bit, take a sponge,
Yeah.
see, and that will help. Now let's see if I add a bit of that. See what happens if I add a bit of that. So you're playing all the time.
And sort of, so yeah, so you now know that when you did that first one.
See, much nicer,
so you've
grittier.
got that sort of, yes.
Yeah. Now say I want a little bit of a line along the bottom there, just something, right?
Yeah.
So I just go like that and like that. And then I might take a credit card, anything, just to make a line, right? And then I'll see, I could add a bit more. Let's add a bit more. See?
Yeah. So it's building it up
So you're
gradually,
building,
isn't
yeah.
it? Yeah.
But you still, but it's whatever where you want it to end up. You see what I mean? And then once you've got that, this dark one's pretty good to show you, because this is where Sam's idea with the white Posca pen comes in.
To make it stand out.
So if, for example, I take the Posca pen now.
Yeah.
Let's give this a go.
So we've got those on the show as well. If you go to the show page, we've got a pair of the white, 2 different size nibs, item number 31731.
And if I take the Posca pen, let me just get it going. Okay, that'll do. Sorry about that. Right, so you can see all you're going to do, because it's really dark now, this could be any background you fancy. And the other thing about this artwork, right, what you've got to know is, so you go down and you don't overthink it. It's not like it hasn't got to be perfect. It's just got to be there.
But you can see already how
especially
it's
when it's dry.
Yeah.
When it dries, it really, see, I might go over it again later when it's a bit dry, but you get a bit scratchy around but you see how it, yeah, you can't you? And then you just let that white Posca pen just travel around the image, and wherever it's a little bit, it just gives a separation. See?
Yeah.
And it's and when you look at Sam's work, she does this a lot, I've noticed, and it works really nicely. So especially on the darker areas, but it gives it that really nice finished effect. You see?
Yeah, as I say, I mean, I thought when I looked at that initially, I thought it was it had been cut out, and you know, like when you often
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
it looks like it's been cut out and then stuck on, but it isn't.
Yeah.
It's a pen. It's all on one layer.
Nice.
And then along the bottom, of course, we've got the grey pencils that we
the set of 12.
The set of 12
Faber-Castell.
Faber-Castells, thank you.
So these are like your essentials, your top up. So the item number for that is 31031.
That's it, see? And the thing about this is, even though I'm not thrilled with the background because it looks like they're in the middle of a lake, right?
Well, they could be.
But the thing is, it's not over till it's over.
No.
You know, and what did I learn? I learned that when I put the darker colour on here, I need to dab it back a bit.
Yes.
And I'd rather go twice.
Yeah. And
right?
build it up gradually.
And build it up gradually. Because when I go to colour these in, even though they're it's darker.
Yeah.
When I go in over the top, it works. The colours will be absolutely pristine, right? Because these B pencils, the polychromos,
pergoliners, yeah, they just block it out.
Well, they're the same as the polychromos.
Yeah.
They're the same animal, aren't they?
Yeah.
So what they do is, because they're oil-based, you see, they block it out, and you just have to press a bit harder, but they do work really well, and you can get some fantastic colours going.
Really nice.
Yeah. So
because they create that natural blend, don't they, as you're working with them, because you're going on softly.
Yeah, and where there is no yellow, the blue peeps through. See, that's the key as well. So you can get some really good colours going. The other thing that you can do is if you use the white pencil as a base. Well, I've done this many times before. If you go into the white pencil now, right, like that, then what you'll find is the colour that you use over the top will be truer.
Yes.
So, for example, because I've put a white base down, the orange will be truer than it would have been if I'd gone on the green.
Yes.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a good way of creating
it's putting that block, is it? The undercoat.
An oil undercoat.
Yes.
And then I can go in there with, for example, a bit of red, and you can blend it with your finger. But I can already feel it's very shiny and it's got a glaze almost, see, so it's protected. But you could get some really nice effects like this. And then the other, just, it's not over till it's over. That's what you've always got to remember. And can I also say that comparison is the killer of joy?
Yes.
Right?
You've said that many a time.
It is. If you've got something in front of you and you think, I want to make that, right? And then anything that deviates a little bit, especially with this sort of unpredictable artwork, right? Comparison is the killer of joy. If I keep going back to this one, I won't be happy with that one.
No.
So I put that to one side and I deal with what I've got in front of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying just keep going until you're happy with it, but just keep going until you're happy with it.
Yeah. I mean, you often say that in the shack when you do shack sessions on a Monday at 10 o'clock. And people say, I'm trying to do it exactly as you're doing it. But there's too many sort of variables in place, isn't there?
It is like that. And so you can see here, for example, you can take Sam's work and you can deconstruct it and you can see what it is that she does, right? But that doesn't mean it has to be exactly the same as hers.
No.
You see, I've made it a bit shorter and I've used a different background. And I haven't done the lines around the outside.
And use different colorways.
So the lines around the outside, let's take a look at that. For those of you who are new to the idea, right?
And that's using our lovely Micron pens.
So now, for example, Micron pens.
Yep.
Yeah, these are brilliant. We use them in the shack all the time. So 30778.
Yep.
Pack of 7.
All different size nibs. The bridge to art.
Yeah.
So you can see there on the back, you've got 005, 01, 02, 03, 04, 05, and 08. All different size nibs on there. Perfect for your doodling.
You see, so all of a sudden, the more I look at this, the more I like it. Do you see what I mean? Because it's funny how it works like that. But because I've got several on the go, I'm not emotionally
attached to your first one.
No, not at all. And it actually helps me show you the white.
Yeah.
Because it's so dark.
Because it was dark. Lovely Sam's in the room with us.
Of course she is. I told her to be. I said, get up early.
Morning, Sam.
Morning, Sam. Right, so now what I can do is, you see, I'll hold the pen up perpendicular. So I get a bit of a kind of a squiggle. And then I just work down. And I don't go through the flowers that I put there, right? I go behind the flowers, go behind that little hair. Then we come round here and you just squiggle. And it's supposed to be, don't use a ruler.
This is where you don't overthink it as well, isn't it?
So you've gone round once, right? And then you go around a second time, start again. And then it's almost like a ribbon. You squiggle around. And you don't try to, not ridiculous, otherwise it looks contrived. But what you're doing is you're going again, right? And you're kind of crossing over a little bit. Do you see? Yeah. So that way, when you go, you do it automatically because you're holding it like that.
Yes.
But what it does is it gives you a really good frame. See how it just ties it all in?
Yeah.
Which is the same as what Sam's done around the outside there. I've done it too. I've just used a thinner pen, I suppose. And so then I took Sam's idea, right? I just mounted.
A little scrap.
Yeah. So all you do is you stamp the stamp onto a little piece of card, a scrap.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, really, just a piece
of a scrap. No, that's a good bit of card.
But say,
I suppose
for example,
one of the bits of you made a mistake, just go on the back of it.
Yeah. That's a good one. See, I've got all my projects on the go here. Look, you've got loads going.
You haven't really got a bit of scrap, have you?
No, I haven't. But let me take this, for example. No, that's a good bit. Give me a bit of that. That'll do. Right. And then all you're going to do, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but let me just show you a trick. So you stamp like that, right? and then you stamp into the top right hand corner. So that gives you 2 sides. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could do a run of them if you wanted. Say you're making for charity, go for it. Right. Say you miss a bit. Well, it's not the end of the world. It's just a piece of paper.
What is it you're saying? Don't go over it, get over it.
Don't go over it, get over it. Exactly. So now, for example, I'm not even going to use, because I'm using scissors rather than a trimmer,
Yeah.
you know, paper trimmer. And I'm just going to stamp there you go. So now I've got these, like so.
Yeah.
And then to make this pop a little bit, see how it's got a line around the outside?
Yeah.
So you can either stick it on, it's got a line and it's stuck on.
Yes.
Right? So the way to do that, most of us know this, but there'll always be people that don't. You take the edge like that and you run it into the ink pad. Takes a couple of minutes to dry. If suddenly your hands are covered in ink, you'll know that you didn't wait long enough for it to dry. Or if you smear it and you think, where's that black come from?
Yeah.
It's come from here. Give it a couple of minutes to dry.
And I suppose you could do that with any colour ink pad to tie in if you wanted to.
Absolutely.
Because if you put some colour on that little scrap of bow wob.
Be lovely.
Yeah.
Be really lovely. So you see, so that one's wet. So I'll just put it on the one that I was using as a, look, just put it on there. And then I know that that's going to be ready to go.
Yeah.
But you can see how nice, and now you just take your butterflies and now you just tie them in, say colour-wise, with what you've got going on around the outside.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the blue one there. There we are. Maybe a little tiny flash of red in there, just so that it pops out a bit. Bit of red in there. They're related.
Yeah.
See, and then if you wanted to, you could always see this area here. You could always colour that in. So you've got a little flash of the red in the butterfly.
Oh yeah.
Right. It's just as ties it in nicely. See, and you could put a little bit of red in the centres of the daffodils, little red in his leg
little heart
there.
to make
see?
It, yeah.
So
all of
now
a sudden it's made it pop.
So you just take one colour, make his tail a little bit red, maybe make her tail, maybe her head dress could do with a little bit more yellow and blue. But you can see how it just pops beautifully.
So and Nicola's in the room, apparently.
Hey, Nicola.
And she says she's loved drawing the hairs.
Yeah, they are.
I can see
delightful.
why. I really can.
They are delightful.
Yeah.
So I think I've shown, right,
so much.
Just ideas, simple tricks and tips. These stamps, they guide you down that road. And when you start to look at the different images, and I did try showing you a couple of different ones. If we just take a look, just move these over here. Yeah, let's have a look here. You can see how we've used several of them here. Yeah. Yeah. Now I want to show. I'm going to do a sped up version of a really good demo.
Okay.
If
so I'll go to the pack shot.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay.
And then what I want to do is just show. I just want to show this little girl.
Yeah.
I want to show this little girl.
Oh, her. Yes.
Yeah, because again, it's taking the other set.
Yeah.
But I'd really like to just show you how this is done, because what I really wanted to show off as well was these little stamps here. So we're looking at the main characters on the hairs. I'm going to take one of the girls now, but it's this little stamp here which creates this here. Yeah, and it's just, these are what you want to look for, these little snowdrops and these little daffodils. This is what we've used here as well. Look, that daffodil there is all the way round here. Look,
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these two sets go together very, very beautifully. They work. They're very interchangeable. The butterflies work. The butterfly kisses work with the hairs.
They've got that crossover.
Yeah, there's a big crossover. That's why you really need both of them.
Yeah, and because obviously it's Nicola's style and it's Nicola's hand, you can see any of the designs from Nicola where you will get that mixability from them, won't you?
Yeah, exactly
Yeah.
that.
Wow.
So I think I've shown the gel press
Yeah.
and how you can get that background and how you can change the background.
Yeah, and build up the layers.
And how
as
you
well.
use the bow wallpapers
Yeah.
to get those wallpaper effects in the background.
Yeah, because all of a sudden with the small petites as well,
yeah,
it makes a difference, and it
yeah.
mini makes. That's where this comes into play, I feel.
And before, the other thing that I do want to show you as well, because we are going to use the pinky grey stickers.
Yeah.
But when you, for example, here, these people here.
Yes.
Right. So I could take any one. These are the kiss stickers. Right.
These are lovely.
And you could look. There's that card there. Right. And if I could take any one of these and just run it from one side to the other like that. Look. And it completely changes it
really well.
Yeah, I could take any one of these, and before they're set, you can lift them off, go again.
Go again.
Yeah, so it's not, if you didn't want that one, you say, right, I don't fancy that. I fancy You're Always in My Thoughts. So I'm going to go with that one instead. See?
Nice.
And then, so you can change. The Kiss ones have got a really lovely.
Yeah. There we go. So you've got, and they come in white as well. So the item number for the Kiss ones is 31323. You've got so many different occasions in there. You've got, say, we've got the black, and then you've also got them in white. So if you wanted to, I'm guessing you could just put these on the gel press as well. Just put one on one side and do that technique on those.
These are the finishers.
Yeah.
But you see, as soon as you take this and then you mount it, let's say here, onto a little card.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, why wouldn't you love that?
It ties in as well, doesn't it? Because you've used the black sticker on there.
See, so why do I like that one better? I don't.
No.
Now.
Yeah.
See?
No, because it's not over until it's over, as you said.
And this is using a pinky grey sticker.
Oh, right. Okay. So those ones.
Just to show you that.
Okay.
Pinky grey. So you show that off, Paul, while I just get ready to show off those other little beautiful stamps.
Okay. So the pinky grey stickers, it's the same type of configuration. You get them in white and you also get them in black. The item number for this is 31639. And you can see you've got a completely different type of font on them. You've got smaller case, lowercase, large letters. It's your birthday. Oh, that'd be nice. It's your wedding for those two little hairs. I'm so proud of you. Happy New You. Happy Mother's Day. That's this Sunday. So yeah, it's a baby girl. So, these would be great for these next characters that are coming up.
Really nice.
So I'm going to go to the pack shot so I can give Barb some space
that's
to
great.
lay out the demo.
Thank you. I just want to see what I've got here now.
Okay.
Tidy up the kitchen a bit.
Right, okay. So Barb has been looking at the Spring is in the Hair. The item number is 12132, $10.99 plus all your relevant club discounts. And don't forget, if you don't belong to any of our clubs, then check out the website or give Sue a call on 01732 868 215. But because we're running a Japan 10 promotion for the whole of March, if you put that in there, you'll get 10% off your order. Then Barb was also using those original Bow papers, item number 31519. Normally £21.98. You have a £7 saving on these, bringing them down to £14.98. Then last week, we blew the doors off with the launch of the fantastic Japanese and Sentiment collection. This one is 3 for the price of 2, so you're going to save $10.99. Then if you like the Gel Press Petites, so we've got the original set, which is item number 31379, which contains a square, a triangle, and a circle. But maybe you want to go for some different shapes. You've also got rectangle, oval, and hexagon, item number 31380.
Cheers, Paul.
There we go.
Okay, so let's take a look at this card, and I want to show you where we're going with it.
Yeah.
Right, so this time I'm using those beautiful little girls. Right, let's have a look at the artwork. So you can see here, they just are absolutely superb.
They're lovely,
Okay.
aren't they?
And like I say, they work beautifully. 1213, is the item code, Butterfly Fairies. So when we come back at 2 o'clock,
Yes.
we're going to look at these again.
We are.
We're going to clear the stencils. We're going to have a look at some
We're going to have a look at
stencils.
some stencils.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've also got on the show.
And yeah. 2 o'clock's good. But I need you to see this as well.
This is lovely.
So let me just show you, because these little characters, I blooming love these. I couldn't get over how evocative they are and how much they say. Like really.
When you break them individually, they have that sort of
You know what
when
I mean?
you look at them as a collection, you can say, oh yeah, that's lovely, that's lovely. But when you then isolate them and just go for one character.
So when you start thinking about different sentiments that you want to evoke, right? You want to evoke a kind of a something. So she's saying, let me do it like this. If I say, it's these little ones, it's these ones.
Oh, right. Okay.
Like, you to me are everything.
That's
sweetest
her.
thing
That's
that
her,
I could
isn't it?
sing.
That one,
oh, baby.
I reckon.
See, so that one sits on the top of that one. Absolutely amazing. Or Easy Does It.
Yeah.
Straight away, if I go to Easy Does It here.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's Chin Up Buttercup.
Chin Up Buttercup.
That's on there. I
Is
saw
it?
that.
Look, Chin Up Buttercup. Oh, look.
Definitely.
Do you see?
Yeah.
Or Love, Laughter and Happiness. She's a bit hippie chick. This one. So it's these ones here you're after. These ones.
Yeah, so this is from the Pinky Grey collection that we've just had a look at earlier.
There's my one and only. That's the one that I found. That was the one I just used on that other card.
Oh,
my
with
one
the
and
little
only.
hairs.
I really like that. With a pair of hairs.
Pair of hairs.
The pair of hairs.
More than me.
So these really, like, look, you brighten my world. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, really nice to do.
Really good.
When I was doing this yesterday, I was grinning all the time. So I thought, gosh, she's so lovely with that. See, and we don't really have that in our Clarity arsenal.
No.
We don't have those little storyteller images, do we?
No. No.
So this is really quite something.
And as you say now, because you look at them as a collection on that stamp set, but when you isolate them and then you've got these stamps, the stickers, all of a sudden, well, we just went through it and said, yep, that was
that one.
And all of a sudden they've got a character and an identity.
So let me show you, for example, if I pan out a little bit. Yeah, so these stickers, first of all, let's just do a sell on there.
Okay, so the item number for those is 31639. They're $12.99 plus all the relevant club discounts.
Yep.
And you've got them in white and you've also got them in black.
2 of each, right?
2 of each, yep. You've got 8 sheets in total, 132 stickers in there.
So I want to show you, I grunged it up a little bit. So, and it all stems from the sticker. So if I were to take a piece of 3.5 by 3.5. Then I decide, right, what do I want to say? Who am I sending this to? I'm going to give this one to Chin Up Buttercup.
Okay. Yeah.
I think I've got that one in front of me. Let's have a look. Have I mounted it? No, she's still there. That's okay though. But say I want to go Chin Up Buttercup.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to go there. I'm going to pop. This is right in the middle. This is everything that I'm working for.
Okay.
So I'll go Chin Up Buttercup like that.
Yeah.
Then I'll take the little girl that I want to use. Right. So she's that one there. Let's see. I think she's going to sit. Oh, look. Yeah. Absolutely. Sorry, hair. Hair today, gone tomorrow.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
So we stamp that on there. That goes on there like, where do you want to put? Bang in the middle. Right, black archival ink pad. So what I'm trying to show you here is where do you begin?
Yes.
Because it's always that, where do you begin with something like that? Where do you start?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, here we go. So then I'm going to go like that, ink up the girl in the black archival.
Yeah.
And then I'll just stamp her straight on top. Oh, the joys of transparent stamping.
And the quality.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the quality is lovely. They're beautiful. Little kid.
Oh.
Yeah. Just perfect. So she's sitting on the, she's standing on there.
Yeah.
Right, now let me show you, because this is where I went yesterday. Take that away. Really well done.
Oh.
Look. I know.
She's definitely got a vintage feel to her. I don't know why. Maybe it's the pose.
You're so sweet.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh,
Oh, look.
yeah. On your special day.
Yeah.
Don't worry, be happy.
Definitely.
Love that.
That's good.
Right, so you could take anyone you fancy, and this will work, right? So then what you're going to do is you're going to go with what you've got.
Okay.
So let's go with Don't Worry, Be Happy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
She's the same sort of thing. I'm going to go with her.
Yeah.
Now I need that lovely little, this one. See, and remember what I said about having several on the go?
Yeah.
So that way, if this one doesn't work out the way I really wanted it, it doesn't matter, because I've got another 4 on the go.
But I think they look quite nice as sort of retro, just black and white images.
Yeah.
Just
With a
like
little
that.
flash of colour maybe.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right.
Yeah. With that black panel underneath.
Yeah. So now let's have a look. I'm going to go like that. I'm going to add a little bit of something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to take that little, let's have just a bit of scrap so that I can check, you know, one for test and all that. Nice. Got to get the pressure right, because it's quite a thin stamp.
Yeah.
So you don't want it to be, yeah. So I'm going to stamp that one like that. There you go. Stamp on the top and the bottom will follow.
Yes.
Okay. So we go like that. You put pressure on the top and the ink at the bottom will follow. So then, for example, I want to bring this one round and I'm going to pop that there.
So this particular stamp is from the hairs.
There.
Spring is in the hair collection.
See, so it starts to give it a bit of movement, changes it a little bit. And then spring is in the hair.
Yeah.
Where's that little fella? Right. So I reckon he's sitting there looking at her calm down, he's saying. You fall off the box. She's on the bar.
I was going to say how many she had.
So we stamp him in. And you know what I'm doing here? You could do exactly what I did with the gel press. Bosh, straight over the top.
Yes.
You know, you could do that instantly. Okay. But for the sake of a demo, I want to show you the watercolor pencils. Right? Just because but quicker would definitely be the jelly plate.
Yes.
Bing bong.
Ink up, take your print.
And I want to tell you something else, right? So we used the square one.
Yeah.
If I used the round one, look. You see? That would look so cool too.
That would.
The triangle would look pretty cool as well. Yes.
Yeah.
So what you're doing then is you're getting the pattern exactly the shape of the gel press, which is why. Have we only got the one?
I've got both sets.
Because there's one that's got a rectangle
Yeah.
and a hexagon.
There we go. So we've had the details on the screen.
Oh, sorry, Paul.
Yeah, that's all right.
I was in a little world of my own.
So the one we've got on at the moment is the original one, the square, the triangle, and the circle.
And then we've got, see, so that's the other thing is you've got an oval. I was just thinking you could see, it depends entirely what backdrop you want, whether you want a rectangle, an oval, hexagon. That's a really cool one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what you do need is the
mega mount. So they come with 3 mega mounts on there, and you've got a $3.99 saving. So it brings it down to $27.97 plus all your relevant club discounts.
But what we could do here is use watercolor.
Yes.
So I'm wondering whether we've got time.
Oh, I reckon
running late.
so.
Right, mixed mats, oil, water.
Yes.
They're the same. They're the same.
Yeah, we just put 2 labels on them just
to. One side's got a bit of purchase. You could feel it. That's the side we're after. So then if I go to my pergoliners, I'll just show you, just roughly, right? Because I actually want to show you another thing as well. If I take the black ones, these ones with the black colours, I could take, for example, I'll go with the blue and I'll go with the pink. There we go. What have we got here? What have I used in that one? Pink. Yeah, that looks good. I might go with a bit of fuchsia, just because I can. Yeah. Right, and then I want a bit of sand because she's going beachy, and a bit of brown. So I've got my colours. I've got my black ones. Okay. When I say black, I mean the black writing.
Yes, A for aqua.
A for aqua.
Yeah.
Right, so then what I'm going to do is I need them, I need that. Then I need my pens, my water brushes.
Yeah.
So I've got a couple. I'll tell you what's always a good idea as well when you're doing this is a paper towel or something just to lean
kitchen
on.
roll.
Kitchen roll, that's it. So let's say, for example, I'm going to do her first.
Yeah.
Let's just do her. Worry about the background afterwards. The background's a bit more of a wash.
Yes.
Isn't it? So if we do her first, I'm going to make her outfit pink.
Okay.
So what you do is you just scribble. You're not going to put water on the pencil because it's not good for the pencil. So you do a bit of scribbling like that. If I want to change, this is like a blending mat. If I want to change the colour, I'll put a bit of another colour there and I can always draw it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then I'll take my water brush. These are the little ones I've got here. And I'll just squeeze a little bit of water out like that.
So that's where you've got the control now, haven't you?
Yeah. So that's a wash, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's just water.
Yeah.
Can we see that all right? Let's have a look. But if, yeah, that's better. If I go in here, you'll see because it's a water-soluble pencil, it immediately becomes like that.
Yeah.
Right? So I've got a wash. I bring this colour down here, and this is a real kind of pink glaze is all it is. Right? So I can take that and I can just dab a little bit on there so it's not excessive, right? I'll just do that.
Yeah.
And then I can go in and I can just put a wash down on her, and it's like the stamp acts as a, because it's a water, first of all, it's water resistant for a start.
Yeah, archival.
But it gives you kind of a little gutter to, so if I go to a darker colour, let me show you this. I'll grab a bit of darker colour. When I pop it in, see how it just sits inside the trousers?
It doesn't go outside the lines.
No. If I want it to be lighter, I'll just go down. So I've got so many different ranges here, right? And then when you add colour, when you want to add more colour, you could just go in, wait till it's dry, and go in that. So I want the wings to be light, yeah? So I'm just going to go in here. You don't have to spend a lot of time, really not, adding colour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let's get a little bit of pink on the hair as well. That's a Jane Telford thing, isn't it?
Pink hair.
Pink hair. Yeah. For those of you who don't know Jane had pink hair for years.
Is your hair pink at the moment, Jane?
I don't think
Send me
it
a message.
is. There you go. So we've got a bit of pink. So you let the layers dry.
Yeah.
Right. And if you wanted to add, let's go in, I'm going into that fuchsia colour. If I want to add a bit of fuchsia, see, I can just go in and add a bit of fuchsia. I can be very specific about this as well, right? But if I want to add, look, the pens are very good. I'm not wearing the right glasses for this, but the pens are very good for detail work like this.
Yeah, I mean, they're such good quality because they've got 3 different size nibs as well. So if you're doing larger areas, like for your washes, you could potentially use the larger one, couldn't you?
Yeah. And also when you squeeze the water out, it's almost like cleans it, right?
Yes.
So now, say for example, I want to do a bit of the wash in the background. I can use the same. I can use this. Go on, Paul.
And one thing I was going to say, this is using our stencil card, which is top quality. This isn't the watercolor journal that you're using. No. You're using the stencil card. And as you would have seen Barb using the stencil card for a number of demos with the gel press, so putting water on it like we're doing now with watercolor, it really is that top quality on that.
It does make a difference.
It does, yeah. So I mean, the 3.5 by 3.5 that Barb's using for one pack of those, which gives you 100 pieces, is 31131. But you can get 2 packs of those, item number 31402.
See, so I've got blue and white here because I want the blue not to be so dark.
Yeah.
So look how I can just pull a tiny bit of blue into the white. The pergoliners are pretty good, you know.
They are, and it's the quality, isn't it? And
yeah.
On those.
And if I want it to be really light in the background, like a wash like that, you can almost not see it, but it is there.
Yeah.
Let's go to camera 3 so that you can see it better. That little girl, look at her. You see that kind of the sploshy in the background?
It's like there's clouds in the background, isn't it?
That almost is like running, if you like. It's almost running. So you can take plenty of water like that. I'm really a lot of water
And you're
there.
squeezing that to
Yeah,
get the
you see?
water out. That's
Yeah,
not
it doesn't
just
just
flooding.
drip out,
No.
no. So now, for example, I can just add a bit of, even though you think there's nothing there, it is coming in, right? And you just add that colour, right? And then if I go in a bit more with the blue, there you go. And you just move your colour around, and you can add depth, right? Add depth. You don't have to do it all in one layer. So you let it dry, go back again. Even though you think there's nothing there, I'm going to get a bit darker just so that you can see it better, right? But you see how I'm just taking the side of the, let's go on the overhead.
You can see it coming in. You can actually see it
Can you see
it? On the
side?
other side camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can see it coming in now, right? And you just use loads of water for a wash in the background, right? And you could just pull it up, and then when you get that lovely stained effect, you know, that look that we're all after. Right, so you just add a bit of that, and then I'm going to show you, I'm just coming in. If I want a bit of brown now, I just want to do a bit of brown down the bottom. Let's get a bit of that, and then maybe there's a darker colour there. Is that? Just bear with me a second.
Is it that darker brown?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
Thank you. Right, so again, it's blending. Even though you've got 20 aqua colours, right, what we're doing here is we're creating more and more colours.
Yeah.
Right? So you got endless possibilities. So here we go. So let's add a little bit around here. Right. And this is where this sort of scratchy, edgy look is. You know, that mixed media.
Yeah.
Just don't worry about it not being exact. It doesn't have to be exact. It just has to be somewhere, right? So you get a bit of that going. In the meantime, you clean that off. Right, we want that brown. She's been in the sun. Okay, let's give her a bit of a tan.
Not a spray tan, then.
No, no.
She's too elegant for a spray tan.
She's too elegant for a spray tan. So we're just going to give her a little bit of a tan, bit of colour, like that. And then if I go in on a little darker level here, and I'll just put a little bit of shade on that side of her face. See if I can just get a bit of shade on that side. Do I need a bit more brown? I think so. So you just squeeze out a bit more colour. There we go. And then this is really where you should settle down and spend there. See how I'm doing half the face in a dark colour?
Yeah.
So what that's doing is it's giving us a shadow. See there?
Yeah, you can see it. It's building up on the side.
So if I just a bit more brown, I've got to do it more extreme than I probably would, just so that you can see it better. But you can see exactly that this is the shadow on the half of the face, and it gives it that feeling. Let me see if we can see it on the overhead. I'm not sure if you can, but maybe you can. Just on that side there, you can see it's...
Yeah. It is very soft and subtle.
But it makes such a difference. It's the little things there.
Mm.
You see?
And when that dries...
When that dries, it will dry really nicely. So say you've done all the colour and you've added a couple of layers and we've gone into the blue and we've got a bit more blue going now. Look, I'm getting... Right, so we get a bit more cloudy going. Could have used one of the stencils. There's a cloudy one, isn't there?
There is, yes.
But this will do for now, right? Yeah, look, here we go. See, it's when you let go and just get on with it. Isn't that great? Look, I love it now. Look, see? So you get a bit of mud up there. There we go. Got some sand, got a bit of brown, bit of yellow. Nice. Now, a couple of finishing tricks. First of all, her foot.
Yes.
Let's see if we can, if I show you, her foot's on the outside on this one.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So maybe we'll do that at the end, but it's you just introduce it.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing is that you'll see here, the edge, it looks very grungy.
Yeah, sandy, as if it's been sandblasted.
Right, so what I did was, I took my finger, let me just wet it a bit. It's easier if it's wet. Let me just take that, just soak the edges a bit. Right, that'll work.
Oh, right.
Right, let's see. And then what I'm doing is I'm roughing up the edge. So I'm picking at the, you know,
As if you're trying to take it off.
Yeah, but I'm just picking at the surface of it. See how I'm just, look.
Oh yeah.
So you're taking the edge of the sticker, which is usually pristine, square, black.
Yeah.
So this is inside. Yeah, just rub it up like that. There you go. And then when it's dry, and I do recommend you wait till it's dry before you play this trick. I'm just looking for the rubber, white rubber. So we sell these, don't we?
Yep, the eraser pencil. This is a double-ended Faber-Castell eraser pencil.
So what you'll find is when you go in with a rubber like this, the white one, it starts to rough up the, look, it'll rough up the edge. That's why I said don't do the white, the Perga colours. The
Poscorner shoe.
No,
yeah, because it would have took it off, wouldn't it?
It would have taken it off, yeah. But if you do this, you just rub like that. What it will do is look, see how it takes that?
Yeah.
So you're doing it with your fingers, you're rubbing a little bit away, you're taking some of the card away underneath, you're picking at the, see, we've never done this. We always stick to the stickers.
Crisp and clean
and all like that. But actually, when you scratch it away like that, it looks really cool. Right? So then we got that going on. And you do know that you can, over the top of the watercolour, if you wanted to use the oily pencils instead, you can use oil pencils over the top of watercolour. Once they're dry, look, it'll work like a charm, right? So we do that, put a bit of that in there. Look, you can add a bit of shadow, go a bit grey, do whatever you fancy.
God.
Now let's have a look. We go with a grey one in here, right? So now I'm going to get some texture going. Right? So he's sitting, got to anchor him because he's just hanging there. He's wondering. You know.
I'm worried.
Yeah, he is worried.
And she said, don't worry, be happy.
Don't worry, be happy. So we give him a red heart. He's the flash of colour. He's even got a little heart upside down there.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's little details that you see. So let's go there. We've done that.
Yeah.
Right. I think this, you're getting the picture here, aren't you? So then the other thing to do, right, is to the background. So what you'll see here is I've chopped it down. So it's that, but it's chopped back.
Yes.
Okay, so this is where I need to ask Paul, just you take this lot and wipe that lot away.
And if you leave that to dry on there, you can go back and reactivate it.
You certainly can.
So yeah.
Yeah, you certainly would. I haven't got the time now to. So what I'm going to do is chop this up. See, because I couldn't prepare the piece to chop because it comes.
It's all part of that
it's all
process.
Part of the process.
Isn't it? Yeah.
So it's all about the size is not prescribed. The size is what you end up with. So say for example now, I'm gonna chop this up. Okay, and make this a particular size. So I'll come right out so it's not so...
Yeah.
Right, so now let's see, I've got that. I've got some pink paper.
Right.
And I've got black paper.
Okay.
Right, so I'm going to go with the Shenandoah. See, I couldn't cut all this up until I knew what size.
What size the finished piece was going to be if you wanted to draw it back. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go, for example, with the pink that's there.
Yeah.
Too small, that'll do. So I've got the pink from Shenandoah companion papers.
Yeah, which is on their website. So there's 8 different designs in the companion papers. Beautiful solid colours, bespoke to us. You won't find those colours anywhere else.
There we are. Right, so we've got that.
Yeah.
We got that. Now, next thing we need, let's have a look at these layers. So I'm going to get this trimmer out again in a minute. So I've got that, and then I've got some splatter. That's all right. It's okay. It's only Paul. Then I've got a bit of card with splats on it, which I did just with a brush.
Right.
Okay. You know that wet thing that you just took
this
away?
This one down here. I haven't cleaned it yet.
But seriously, see that? If you watered that down a bit, and you took a big brush like this, right? Bit of water, spritz it,
hose it down,
right? And then you just flick like that.
Right.
And that's how you end up with all these splats. That's how I end up with backgrounds like this.
And that's just on a large stencil card, isn't it?
Oh yeah, so I use the large stencil card. When I'm cleaning this off, right, I have a large piece of stencil card there, and then the colours, I go in there, bit of water, and then flick. And you get really beautiful, delicate drops, which is nice. And that's the sentiment. I was trying it out to see if it would work.
With the little gel press.
Yeah, with the round one. Oh, hello. I thought, I bet that looks good as well. See?
Yeah.
So you get the splatters based on what colours.
Nice.
So just saying, that's a good background as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's have a look what we've got. That's just a bog standard brush. Now, the next thing I want to do is the layering. Okay, we're 2 minutes away from completion, friends. Is anyone still there?
I think, yeah, it looks like as if there's plenty in the room.
Now, let's have a look. So if I want to chop this up a bit, I'm gonna chop this up on this side. I'm looking at how wide this is going to be. So until I get a nice balance, see, there are no rules really. Let's have a look. If I compare it with what I did before, it's nearly there, a little bit smaller. So what I think I want to get a bit more like that. I like that. I might come in a little bit more like, do you do this at home? Do you do this as well, or is it just
and
me?
Then all of a sudden,
yeah,
too
no,
small.
but that's the thing. You go with until you're happy with it. And it depends entirely on that now. Depends on what I'm doing with this.
You're going to cut there. Yeah.
So if I go to the pink, right, the pink's just got to be a little bit bigger than that.
Yes.
But so is the black.
Yes.
So Paul, we've got this while I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Have you got some
I have.
card?
So
why don't I go there?
Yeah.
You can talk and I can do this.
Yeah.
Because you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut it out.
So we've got this fantastic pack. It is our black and buff paper. It is 120 GSM, and you get a light buff and a buff color. Plus, you get the black paper in there as well. You get 10 sheets of each, and that is £7 plus all the relevant discounts. The item number for that is 30537. The Shenandoah, we've got Shenandoah, Northern Lights, Indian Summer. When you look at the color palettes on those, there will be, even if you just go for one, when you get it home, yeah.
No, you carry on.
when you get it home, then you'll think, oh yeah, I've got. It's really weird because although they're bespoke colors to us because they're taken from our original designer papers that Barb created using alcohol inks, but when you look at, if you're using like your distress oxides, your normal distress ink pads, your archivals, there's always a color that seems to work, isn't there, with the backing paper, which is really strange. And it's beautiful, sort of. I mean, look, I've got. Hang on, let me just grab some of them here. So, if we've got Toscana, item number 31667. We've got Indian Summer, item number 31663. Rainbow River, 31665. Northern Lights, 31664. And one of Barb's favourite ones, which we only introduced when we brought these back, was Antarctica, and the item number is 31655. And that's got lovely pinks and lilacs in there.
But also, they're not coloured on the back.
No,
before they were. Is that what you just said?
I didn't say that.
Before, let me show you. It used to be two different colours. So if you used the pink, you lost the green. And then I said that's a waste of time and money and ink.
Yeah.
So now we've gone single-sided, so you get exactly the same number.
Yeah, still 48
except you don't
sheets.
waste half.
Yeah, and it's great because I mean it's a real top quality paper as well.
You done?
I am.
Okay. So this is where we're headed now. This is what I wanted to show you. First of all, we've done her. Look, we've done her from scratch. What about we give this one away, Paul?
Yeah.
Can we give this card away?
I think we can. What we could, happy, I think is a good word.
Happy. I think so. Happy's great.
Happy. So if you put happy in the comments underneath, and then what we'll do is at the end, we will pick a name and we will send that to you.
Yeah. 100%.
That'd be lovely.
Happy. There you go. So I've just edged that edge That's one way of getting a black edge, isn't it?
Yes, with a
Really
Sharpie.
easy.
Yeah.
Okay. And I could still add a bit of colour. You know, I'm not done. It's just I've got to keep going here. Right. So then I've done that one. So then I've taken the pink from the Shenandoah, and that's that size.
Okay.
Right. So now you can see that that's going to be just a little bit bigger than that.
Yes.
But then you can see I've grunged it up. That edge is grungy. So you've got to do one at a time.
Yeah.
But then the black one in the background is not bigger. It's the same size pretty much. Look.
Right. Yeah.
So that means it could even do with being a bit smaller. And then that way, when I grunge up this edge, that edge just peeps through.
Oh, you'll
like
get more
that.
of the reveal.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now, for example, I take this one.
Yeah.
This is the one that I'm grunging.
Okay.
And I'll take a pair of scissors.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to hold it carefully and then pull. Now, the black, did you talk about the black paper?
So the black, yep, the black and the light buff.
Right. So my thoughts on this black, right? Black card, for whatever reason, has become crazy expensive.
It has,
like
yeah.
It's just not viable for us anymore
No.
to sell it. It's too much. But what we did have, when I had a rummage round, we've got this really lovely black paper.
And it's black all the way through, isn't
black
it?
core.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there. And that's why it's beautiful to use, right?
Yeah.
Black. That's 50p's worth. But the point is that you can use that as a background without breaking the bank.
Yes.
And so that was what Paul was talking about. Oh, that's not that one.
Yeah, so you've got that you've got the black and you've got the buff, and there's 10 sheets of the light buff and the dark buff, and 10 sheets of that. Now the buff is like one-sided, so it's white on one side, but it's a lovely sort of perfect for your matting and layering. It is 120 GSM.
So with this, you just take your time and you're just roughing up the edges like that. If you tear it, doesn't matter. It's supposed to look grungy, right? So you do that like that. Okay. Until you're happy with how much you've taken off.
Yeah.
And the scissors will just do the job for you. You can go down to the crease where the scissors meet, where the blades meet. This is a really cool way to go. Right. And we've done 2 hours again. Can you believe this?
I can.
No,
I meant that in a good way.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll it with my fingers like that. Like that. See, so it rolls. That'd be nice. I might roll.
It looks like leather.
Mm-hmm. It's a good way to go.
Yeah.
Like that. Right. So you've got that and that. And then all you're going to do is you're going to stick that on there like so. See, it doesn't matter. If you've got a bit of tear, go with the tear. Go with the tear. Go with what you got. Do the Japanese thing. Find pleasure in the imperfect. Boom. That's the truth of it.
Yeah.
Kintsugi all the way, friends. Right, so now I'm going to take my, 100%.
Tape runners.
Tape
These
runners.
Are brilliant.
But let's remember that this particular day is dedicated to Stamptagious.
It is.
So what we're doing here is we're kind of using, hello, what have I done now? We're kind of using these beautiful, evocative little stamps to go down a bit of a mixed media road, haven't we? Right, so there you go. Doesn't that look old and grungy?
Yeah, that's really, and it suits the style of it as well. I mean, it would have looked beautiful, just crisp and clean, stamped, matted and layered, but it just gives that little, it falls in with the washed background, doesn't it?
And then this, you almost want it to be a little bit smaller, but do you know what? Needs must. It's going to be what it is now. So I'll just do this one, right? Slowly does it, Gray. Don't rush now. You're already 1 3/4 hours over the...
Might as well take it to a full 2 hours. Might as well.
So you just pop that on there like so.
Yeah.
Right. And then that comes curling up like that. See, it looks so it's old. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
I've even been known to sew these, just a little bit of stitching there and there, and that really makes it look old. You wouldn't think that only started life about half an hour ago.
As a white piece of card.
There you go. And then that, exactly. And then whether you want to add a little bit of shadow, I'll do all that in my own sweet time. But you can see how now I can do the shoe. Now I can do the shoe. Now where
It's
did
in
I
that
put?
pot. It's there next to
There it
between the
is.
brushes.
White Posca pen.
Yeah.
It's the little things that give me pleasure.
So if
Right.
you want the fine Posca, the item number for that is 31719.
There you go. And all I needed to do was bring her toe over the top. She's got a bit of a club foot there. No, she's all right. She's fine. There we are.
When that's dry, would you be able to scratch it back if it was a little bit?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
There we go.
There we go. So now she's more pointed. See, she's more feminine.
More ballet.
There, wunderbar.
Nice.
Perfect. So that's how it works. And then you can see on this one, I even put a little bit of pink on it to tone it down a bit.
Oh, yeah.
So that's using the water brush with the paint,
thing,
just
yeah.
bish, bosh, bish over the top, all done.
Nice.
There we are. So I think that'll do for the first session.
You can see how Barb got carried away though when she was prepping for the different demos and why she was still working at 8 o'clock last night doing all the things.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun. And I haven't even, you know, I always run out of time, but you'll find that the key to that whole demo was you start with the sticker and then you work your way, you go from there. And what a beautiful little look at that
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, as a gift.
Yeah.
As a gift, a little set of 5 noteslets with the little people and the little messages underneath.
If you've gone for the little 4x4 card blanks and envelopes, then you could split that into 2, and that's 2 gifts for someone, isn't it?
Really lovely.
And how many characters have we got on there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go.
Lucky number's 5.
Perfect.
So, and then you've got your little butterflies. And then the only other thing I wanted to, and then I'm done though, all right? I am. Let me show you this because I did do this. Stay there.
What we
Where are those little butterfly cutouts that I did?
Was that for this demo or was that for?
Might have been for a different one.
That might be for the.
No.
It's for that demo, wasn't
It's in the bag.
It's in the bag.
I know it was for this one. Right, watch. Because I thought, I know I did this. So here we got this.
Yeah.
Right. And then I did these I cut these out. See the little butterflies?
Yeah.
So I cut them out like that.
Come over a little bit.
One just flew away. But that's okay. I got 2. 2's better than none.
There we go.
So then what I did was I took these and then I lay them up. Rather than spoil it, I lay them up where I wanted to see them, right? So say, I think that would look good, like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe that one looked better there, or maybe that one would look better there, and that one would come here. So rather than just stamp it and then regret it, which is, oh, here he is. There he is. See? So then I put this one, and I put it there, and then I pop that one there like so. Do you see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
And then before I start to stamp my little papillon.
With your stamp pens.
Right? Yeah. So now, for example, that one's that one there. And then I'll take my black archival.
Yeah.
I've got a bit of scrap, remember? This is important, this stuff. Right? So then I'm going to go like that with my fantastic stamp pen for the little petite papillon, like that. Make sure you don't press too hard. Make sure that you've got exactly the right pressure you want.
And that's what the pen gives you, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I've done that one. Now I want that one there, right? Bearing in mind, if it doesn't stamp properly, I've already got a butterfly
to cover it up. Because you could do that technique of going around the edge with a black pen.
Exactly. There you are. Perfect.
Look at that.
See? Then I go to the next one. That's this one. Ça c'est bon. And I go, right, that'll do. But this is a really great way. And I'm making a little card here, by the way. Look, with my little tester.
Oh, yeah.
So I want that one to be there. So I take off the little template. So I know where I want it to sit. See, I've checked before I do it.
Yeah.
There you go. So now I've got 3 little butterflies. There you go. They're all, because you do, don't you? You stamp it and you think, should have been facing that way.
Yeah. Should be flying in the opposite direction.
Collision. Do a papillon. Anyway, that's me done.
Okay, we need to choose a winner. for your
Okay,
card.
good. Which
Okay.
card are we giving away?
We're going to give,
This one.
yeah,
Yeah.
Don't worry, be happy.
Or have a great day, because it looks all right. Well, that means I'll finish this one off.
Yeah.
I'll finish this one
It's
off.
entirely up to you.
Don't worry, it'll be one of them.
Okay. Right. So let's just pop into the chat.
It'll be one of them.
And then I'm going to turn away, and then you will tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Stop. And the winner is Debbie Higgs, all the way in Australia.
Oh, wow, Debbie.
Congratulations, Debbie.
My goodness, it must be the middle of the night in Australia.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Debbie Higgs, the least I can do is send you a little card, love.
Yeah. So we'll pop that in with, I'm sure you've got an order downstairs.
I'm going to send have a great day.
Have a great day.
Have a great day, Debbie.
Congratulations.
Cool. Nice.
Wow, that's been an amazing 2 hours.
Sorry it took so long.
I don't think there's anything to apologise for. I think it just shows how much you've enjoyed working with them.
With these stamps, yeah.
And then sort of like the inspiration from Nicola's design team, from Sam.
Yeah.
And
the cross-pollination.
Yeah.
You know, so that we can take a set of really funky, sketchy stamps.
Yeah.
And we can apply them to the entire Clarity arsenal, whether it's the papers, the bow wallpapers, the gel press, whatever we use, the stickers, they sit so beautifully.
They do.
It's like a match made in heaven, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? So we're back at 2.
We are indeed. Yes, not long to go.
I just have time to do an arm wipe with this lot, and then we'll go again. Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll like this one. You'll like this one.
Super.
We'll do a little bit more bow wob. Okay.
Yeah.
And tea bags. We're get your tea bags out. We'll do some
dry.
tea bags.
They need to be used and dry.
Yeah.
So
I'll show
Barb will
you how it
explain
works
anyway.
at 2 o'clock.
Fantastic. So thank you for joining us. Thank you to the lovely Jane for keeping us company in the room.
Thanks, Jane.
And we will be back with you at 2 o'clock.
And thank you, Sam Crow, for helping me.
See you later, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.